Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Habs postgame show edition of Langer at the Mic Live. The Montreal Canadiens, guess what? They win again against the Vancouver Canucks, this time by a score of 5-3. And this was a tough hockey game. The Habs won a tough hockey game tonight because the Canucks didn't roll over by any means tonight. They rolled over a little bit yesterday, especially in that second period. The Canucks were really, really bad yesterday, just turning pucks over left and right. And the Habs, to their credit, just buried them. But in this game, the Canucks, they played hard, man. They were tough to play against tonight. Like the Canucks, they put everything they could on goal. They put pucks left and right on Jake Allen. They finished with 39 shots on goal. But again, they did turn pucks over in this game, and the Habs, to their credit, capitalized again on those scoring chances, and they got balanced scoring. And even though Thatcher Demko played a really good game in relief of Braden Holtby, or in exchange of Braden Holtby, the Habs just they executed. They buried their chances. They were opportunistic, and they played really, really well. So look, it's just such a joy to talk about this Montreal Canadiens team winning almost every night or every second night a week, instead of talking about the Cowboys losing during the fall every week. But anyway, I digress. I love doing this either way. Let's get into our good and bad habits. I could honestly talk about everyone, but you know what? For my first good habit, where else to start other than Shea Weber, the Man Mountain, playing in his 1,000th NHL game. His kids made a bunch of nice posters for him. Obviously there are fans on Zoom. I don't know if it was pre-recorded or done live, but there are fans honoring him on Zoom. And then I found my favorite part of that whole honoring of Shea Weber's 1,000th game was the messages from the players. I don't know how often other organizations do that, where they have their own players give messages and they put them on the Jumbotron, but that was really nice, just highlighted by Price, by Jeff Petry. Brendan Gallagher talked about how Weber is so valuable off the ice. Romanov and Jesperi Kotkaniemi, the kids telling or complimenting Weber for being essentially the dad in the dressing room. Paul Byron, saluting Weber for his relentless hard work all the time. Ben Sherratt, Suzuki, Anderson, Josh Anderson, Tatar, Jonathan Drouin, just all with the kind words and congratulations. The pictures of Shea Weber in the tunnel leading up to the Habs dressing room, just as usual, a really job well done by the Montreal Canadiens with these ceremonies and these honoring of players and all that. Just a job well done. Way to make it special. The only thing really missing was the Habs cheer. It was the fans cheering in the stands. But hopefully, again, that will come sooner than later. As for Shea Weber's game, he had 1 assist. He was a +1, 1 shot on goal, 1 block shot, played 23 minutes, 33 seconds. And honestly, I haven't talked much about Shea Weber in these post-game shows because he hasn't really done anything that stands out in these games so far in 2021. He doesn't have any big hits, massive hits. He doesn't have any fights, but he has a couple of goals. And honestly, he just goes about his business, playing 20 plus minutes a night as a 36-year-old in the NHL, playing now 1,000 games in the NHL. And he's just does his job in this Habs stacked defense core. And of course, he is the awesome leader that he is. And once again, congratulations, Shea Weber, on your 1,000th NHL hockey game, and the fact that it was a win and the fact that it was awesome. Now, next, let's talk about Josh Anderson. And you know what? We're going to talk about Josh Anderson, Nick Suzuki, and Jonathan Drouin all at once because, they're a unit. They're they're a unit, man, Josh Anderson on his first goal. This isn't, I don't know if this is going to get talked about enough, but to me, what stood out was Jonathan Drouin just casually being it was on his right side, so on his off wing, just making the play to I think he forechecked and just knifed it ahead into the corner to Suzuki. It's that play that kept that play alive to Suzuki, who then went around the net, passed it to Ben Sherratt, who then got it to the net, and Josh Anderson was there to bury the rebound, right? So to me, that was just a perfect sequence of Josh Anderson and Nick Suzuki and Jonathan Drouin, all in one play, doing what they do best, Jonathan Drouin doing a little thing to set up the play. Nick Suzuki making a nice pass, carrying the puck, making a nice pass to Sherratt, and Josh Anderson with the presence in front of the net, winning his battle in front and burying it on Thatcher Demko. And that whole line, again, was just on fire the entire game, pretty much. And like Josh Anderson's second goal was created by a turnover by Jonathan Drouin, who forced it in the neutral zone, and then Nick Suzuki forced another one. And that's what got the puck to Brett Kulak, and Josh Anderson deflected it in off Brett Kulak's shot from the point. And like I said, I find Jonathan Drouin, going back to that first goal, like he's not going to get the assist because only Suzuki and Sherratt get the assist, but Drouin deserves an assist on that first goal. And although Drouin did take the dumb penalty, the tripping penalty in the second period on Alex Edler, and Josh Anderson also took a holding penalty, which was to me a little bit of a weak call. That aside, they played just another really, really strong game. And like on multiple occasions, they generated multiple odd man rushes and multiple scoring chances. And to me, here's what it's about with those three. Josh Anderson brings the speed and he brings the size. Nick Suzuki is annoying on the forecheck. He is smart at making plays with the puck on his stick, and he forces turnovers. Jonathan Drouin is just, really good at positioning. And, when for the most part this season, whenever the puck's on his stick, makes good decisions, excellent at passing, excellent at setting guys up, and doing the little things that, again, set up Suzuki and Anderson. So Josh Anderson, 15 minutes, ice time, 2 goals, 4 shots on goals, +1, 3 hits. Drouin, although he was pointless, he had no points. He wasn't pointless. He had no points. He played 14 minutes, 58 seconds, +2, 3 shots on goal. Nick Suzuki, 2 assists, +3, 20 minutes of ice time, leading all the Canadian centers. And he has another point streak now. I believe he's at, he's through 9 games. I think he has 11 points now in 9 games, or 10 points through 9 games. So continuing to prove me right in my prediction that Suzuki will lead the Habs in scoring by the end of the season. Although at this point, it could be Toffoli or Jeff Petry. Who knows? And that will bring me to my next good habit, Tyler Toffoli, of course, who continues to own his former team, the Vancouver Canucks. On that first goal, Toffoli took the faceoff, by the way. I think he took it instead of Jesperi Kotkaniemi, probably because he was as a right-handed shot on his more favorable side. And it was perfect. Like, he won the faceoff, went right to the net, and Joel Edmundson made the right play to just get it towards him, and Toffoli just made a really nice deflection on that first goal. Then the highlight reel goal in the second, yes, that was a highlight reel goal where he smartly took the space he had to carry it through the neutral zone and then just embarrassed Jordy Ben with like a really nice toe drag. Jordy Ben, former Montreal Canadiens defenseman, of course, and then just embarrassed Thatcher Demko going backhand, high glove. Like, just, he just continues every single game to be a force. Like, Tyler Toffoli, man, just what a bargain at like the $4.25 million cap hit that he signed for the next 4 years. And just, again, he continues to make plays at both ends. Like, he was the one that pressured Quinn Hughes into the turnover that led to, Toffoli breaking out of the neutral zone and passing it to Jeff Petry, who iced it for the empty netter. This is obviously at the end of the game when it's 4-3 at this point. So Toffoli essentially made the play in the defensive zone that iced it. And he could have had a hat trick if he put in the empty net himself, but instead he nicely gave it to Petry. And he finished with 2 goals, 1 assist, +2, 5 shots on goal after I think he had like 5 or 7 shots on goal last game. He played 17 minutes, 24 seconds. Like I said, continues to own the Vancouver Canucks. And I believe he leads the NHL in goals with 9 goals this season. He's on a goal per game pace. So can he score 56 goals? I don't know if he'll score 56 goals this year, but he's definitely a pretty good odds for 30 goals. And his career high, I believe, is 31 goals that he had on, I think he had 2 30-goal seasons in his career, or maybe 1. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, just he can have a career high in goals in a shortened season. Like, go figure. But anyway, my next good habit, Jake Allen, of course. The last time Jake Allen faced the Vancouver Canucks, the Canucks only had 17 shots on goal and he gave up 3 goals. But this time, like I said, the Canucks were putting everything that they could to the net all game long. Jake Allen made good saves early. He made great saves late. And just when things could have maybe gotten out of hand for the Habs, Jake Allen was there. He did give up some iffy rebounds, like on the Roussel goal. I'll get to that in a bit. But for the most part, he was really, really good with his rebound control, especially the ones that he had to control. He controlled them. He did a great job at tracking pucks from the point, especially with his glove. He didn't allow the traffic in front of him to affect him. Just played a very calm, very steady game. Now, the goals he let up, like, look, the goal by Roussel was off the rebound shot from the point. Not much of a chance, except maybe unless he controls that rebound better, which would have been tough because there's traffic in front. The Pettersson power play goal, look, that was pretty much a carbon copy of the goal that Johnny Gaudreau scored on him on Saturday on the power play, just a snipe high glove. And then the Tanner Pearson one was just like a jailbreak, whatever crap in front. Tanner Pearson friggin' poked at it a million times. Ben Sherratt tried freezing the puck off on Jake Allen's left pad to no avail, and Pearson, to his credit, just kept battling and buried it. But overall, look, Jake Allen, 36 saves on 39 shots. Like, just some goalies are elite. Like, they play at a very, very high level when they only have to play 30 to 40 games a year instead of 60 to 70. And Jake Allen is proving this year that he is one of them. And even last year, he proved it last year. He had a sub two goals against average last year in platooning with Jordan Binnington. And with how he's playing right now, honestly, like, I wouldn't mind giving him even more starts than he's already getting. Like, maybe even 50-50 with Price. Who knows? Like, yeah, just both him and Carey Price are giving the Habs equal chances to win games. And that just, the Habs being built on depth at forward and at defense. They don't lack any depth in net. They got plenty of it in spades with Carey Price and with Jake Allen the way he's playing. Now, I want to give some love to Brendan Gallagher, and I'm wearing his number 11 today because of the first regulation loss there and the end of Nick Suzuki's point streak. But I'll probably put my 14 back on sometime soon. But this was a gutsy performance from Brendan Gallagher. He didn't get on the score sheet, but he got banged up twice after getting the Weber shot that hit him and the Tatar shot that hit him, and he was still all over the place. And he put 5 shots on net. Like, he had 5 shots on goal and was just relentless on the forecheck. And honestly, his line mates, Thomas Tatar, Philip Deneau too, like, the only problem with that line, like, they played about 14 minutes in this one. The only real problem with that line is that the chances that they were getting was hitting Thatcher Demko right in the whaled C on his chest. So, like, or the other way, yeah. Like, that was the only issue with that line. But every time they were on the ice, again, relentless on the forecheck. Gallagher in particular, with the fact that he just, like, got hurt on the 2 shots that he took and stayed in the game and put 5 shots on goal. Like, they were fun to watch, and they played a heck of a game. They deserve a lot of love for that, particularly Brendan Gallagher, but also Thomas Tatar and Philip Deneau. And of course, the fourth line, we could talk about the fourth line every single game. They continue to be awesome. They control play each time they're on the ice. Lehkonen is relentless on the forecheck. Jake Evans is improving at faceoffs. Lehkonen, of course, is really good on the PK at generating pressure and creating offense on the PK as well. A lot of the offense being created on the PK comes from Lehkonen. And of course, Paul Byron is always a factor with his speed. Like, they're just, I don't even know if they can like, calling them a fourth line is probably just a disrespect to them at this point. They're just a really good line, and they're playing 14 minutes a game, and they're very effective at the 14 minutes a game that they're playing. I mean, obviously, look, they're not scoring a million goals, but, again, they're just getting chances, and they're just, outworking and outplaying the other line that's on the ice for the other team. So yeah, another great game by the fourth line. Or the Evans line, not the fourth line. Now I want to give some love to Joel Edmundson here, because I think Joel Edmundson in this game played his best game as a Montreal Canadien. Him and Jeff Petry were awesome. But Edmundson in particular, I think he played a perfect stay-at-home defenseman's game, because he held pucks in the offensive zone. He got the assist on the Toffoli goal for, again, wisely putting it on net. He was a monster on the last shift with Petry, which essentially, negated the play in the corner, which forced the Canucks, I think, to get it to Quinn Hughes, and then Toffoli made the nice play to force the turnover, but to ice the game, of course. But Edmundson was +2. He played 19 minutes, 20 seconds in a close game, right? And that's, I think, the key point is that Claude Julien trusted Joel Edmundson in a close game by playing him 19 minutes, 26 seconds, and Joel Edmundson delivered. And of course, his line mate, Jeff Petry was awesome as usual. He had the empty net goal and an assist. 23 minutes +2, leads all NHL defensemen in points with 11, and he plays well in the defensive zone. Call him Jeff Norris. Don't call him Jeff Petry anymore. Just call him Jeff Norris. We gotta push the Jeff Petry for Norris campaign here. But yeah, and another thing I want to point out too, though, is Jesperi Kotkaniemi's passing. Jesperi Kotkaniemi could have had 3 assists in this game. Obviously, he had the assist on Toffoli's highlight reel dipsy doodle goal in the second period there. But what a pass to Tatar on that power play in the first. Just a clear pass to Tatar with a wide open net who just couldn't finish. And then he had another great pass backdoor to Corey Perry, who one-timed it, but that Sherdemko made a really nice save getting his pad to the post. But if Corey Perry lifts it about 2 feet off the ice, that's a goal for Corey Perry and another assist for Jesperi Kotkaniemi. You know, the only issue though is that he doesn't shoot enough. He only had 1 shot on goal, and you want to see him, start to get more, to score a little more goals if you're going to knock his game right now just a little bit. But still, Kotkaniemi keeps doing more good things than bad, and again should have had 3 assists in this game, honestly. And you know what? I'm even going to point this out here. I'm going to give some love to the refereeing in this game. Brad Meyer and Corey Sivret. Yeah, Corey Sivret. As much as we hate on reffing, like, let's give them credit when it's good. Like, I think they called a good game here. Like, I'm just so sick of Kevin Pollock calling Habs games like the Canucks, like all 3 of the Canucks games in Vancouver 2 weeks ago, and then the Flames game on Saturday. I feel like the reffing in this game was much better. Even yesterday's game was a lot better. So let's give the refs the respect when they don't, ruin the game with the penalties that they call. And they did, and they called a fair game in this one. So again, credit Brad Meyer and Corey Sivret for calling a good game. And let's talk about Victor Mete again. Not a good or bad habit, but let's talk about Victor Mete because he stayed in the lineup and Romanov sat in this one. And I think Mete played a lot better he played better in this one. He was still involved on offense, but the key is that he was much better. He was in much better position defensively. And he played a quiet 14 minutes, 43 seconds, and I think it was quiet in a good way, at least from what I saw. I haven't seen what Twitter says. I haven't seen what anyone else says, but to me, what I saw, I think Victor Mete played a better game today than he did yesterday. And again, it was a good, quiet 14 minutes, 43 seconds from Mete. The only real bad habits I could really think of in this one is just the friendly fire. Just guys getting hurt by shots, like Brendan Gallagher ×2, like I said, from Tatar and Weber shots that banged them up. And then Jeff Petry taking a puck off the inside of his foot or the inside of his leg. Besides that, though, I guess the only thing I can really nitpick on is the fact that this game might have been a little too close for comfort, given that they went into the third period at 4-1. You'd have liked the Habs to have closed this one out a little bit cleaner, but again, credit the Canucks for coming back hard, putting everything to the net, but then credit the Habs for having all the answers and still hanging on. Like the Canucks controlled possession, they controlled the game a lot more than they did today and yesterday. But again, the Habs just won because they hung on and they were much more opportunistic. They created turnovers again and they buried their chances. And even though the Canucks did get 39 shots on net, not too many of them were dangerous chances. And when they were dangerous chances, Jake Allen was solid. So yeah, look, the Habs, they're 7-2-1. They keep on rolling, and that means that they're probably going to lose to the Ottawa Senators on Thursday. But with that, and that would really suck. I mean, look, Habs teams of years past would lose to the Sens on Thursday. But again, this Habs team keeps showing that they're different. So let's just keep enjoying the ride. And that's all I got here for this Habs-Canucks postgame show here on Langer at the Mic. As usual, give me a big thumbs up if you enjoy my commentary. Subscribe here to my channel. Give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram at Mike Langer. I'll include that in the description below. But thank you so much for watching this Habs-Canucks postgame show here on Langer at the Mic Live. And I look forward to seeing you again next time. Go Habs, go.